Currently 7 o'clock, so I am going to mute everybody, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Nicole. Nicole, when I mute
Gordon,
everybody,
can you see the top of my head?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
you're great. All right, we're all muting, and I'll give it to you in a second, Nicole.
Awesome. Yet.
Nicole, you're back. You're back on now. Sorry.
Cool. No worries. Welcome to another edition of Candlelight Yoga, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad we get to chat a little before and after. And just a shout out before I go, thank you to my sister in Arlington, Virginia for being here. And that said, let's take a comfortable seat. You know, if you need to have a couple wiggles to really lay out your foundation comfortably to align your body. And then take 3 deep breaths. Notice how they feel, right? Is it easy to fill? Is it kind of tough to fill up with your breath? Take in that feedback. Your body's really going to give you feedback as we continue to practice together tonight. So I invite you, always listen to your body. Please listen deeply, as well as, you know, breathe deeply as we go. And I think I can promise that we're going to feel a whole lot better when we're done. So, okay. Hopefully your shoulders have dropped a little in that last deep breath. Start to sway. It doesn't have to be fast. In fact, please make it slow. And as we sway side to side, we start to feel the stretches along the sides of our body. Go with it, right? Go with that action. But control the action. You really are. You have breath control and body control. And now let's start to draw a circle, and you can pick whatever direction you wish to start to swirl. Just again, lay into it, lay back just a little to really complete the unfurling of your spine in the movement. And now let's smoothly change our direction. Let's take a couple more swirls, on the side. And we'll slowly start to still the movement and center once again, noticing any changes from the start. Little forward tilt, right? Flexion forward. And as we lay back, let your hands catch you back there. Extension through the spine and expansion across your heart. A little forward bend in the seat. And then a little bit of venture towards back bend. And 2 more times. We flex slowly forward. Right, notice I'm starting to extend, maybe giving just a little more of your body. Each time we meet each pose. And now let's center again and take a tall twist, right? Twists move through the rib cage, right? So we could think of tonight just a little bit as our Friday night twister game. We're gonna do a lot of twists tonight. That was a hint. So take your twist and you really feel it thoracically, and that's through your rib cage, your diaphragm, your shoulders, your chest. Align the spine, root to crown, and change your twist, right? Change to the other side. Breathe deep. Let's shift sides. Noticing where you might be packing in your tension this evening. Let go. As you breathe, allow yourself to really feel that sense of letting go. It's like a melting of your tension, and it's a really good thing. Shift twist to the other side. Face forward again and extend your legs. Now they've been crossed for a little bit, so extend, stretch your legs, right? Extend and stretch through your feet. Sit up nice and tall in a staff position. Dandasana. And if you need, I always encourage you to use your hands to help you settle into a more balanced position, a better position, a taller, more even position in your seat. And maybe we flex forward. Don't try and fight this one. Flow with it, right? Go as far into flexing forward as feels good in your body. Notice if your spine's beginning to round on you. Let's take back the round, take back the alignment and posture, good posture. And let's be here in this seated forward fold, forward bend. It's called Paschimottanasana. Let's be here for 2 more deep breaths, please. And then as we rise, we'll lay back into our handprints, expand across our chest and arc upwards, right through the heart. It's lifting. Lean back into a nice neck and throat stretch, but don't force your head back. Again, that flow, breath moving, flowing through the throat space, across your chest, filling up the volume of your rib cage. And from here, let's dip back onto our elbows and just stop here for a moment, lengthen through the body. Again, if your heart starts to cave in, let's burst up through the heart and lean back gently through the head and neck. Fish pose. I can hardly resist a good Matsyasana. I love fish pose. Please take 3 more deep breaths in your fish. And then slowly ease yourself back up. And we'll come on to all 4s, right? Big switch, moving your body, new position. Handprints like jazz hands on the mat. Let's exhale into the cat pose and inhale into cow pose. So you're taking an arcing action, right? Drawing curves in the spinal body. May you draw your curves smoothly and slowly. Two more times. And now we'll move into downward dog pose. So we curl our 10 toes under behind us, raise our tail up, pushing our front paws, our hands downward and forward as we raise our tails high and back, lengthening through your spine. As you breathe, feel your spine lengthening segment by segment. And there's a certain sense of balance, of steadiness and ease. Bring your knees to the ground, please, right? Knees touch down. And our tails ease back as we draw our heart, not back. Don't let it recoil. Pull your heart forward. Child's pose, resting on center of forehead. Please stay in your child's pose for 3 more deep breaths, and may they be deeply filling and actively emptying. Right. And rise up from your child's pose into another downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And this is a challenge. It's a strong one. 5 deep breaths. You're going to feel the pose blooming from your paw prints, through each vertebra in the spine, right, through your tail rising. And there's agility in your legs. Don't allow them to feel super stiff or too straight. Imagine what a dog looks like, and they have the bendy back legs. Bendy, agile, ready to be mobile or ready to relax. And now please, knees to the ground. Let's take another child's pose, Balasana, right? And if you forgot it, let me refresh your memory. I love Balasana, right? Stay there, allow yourself to relax and melt. I love this pose. It allows you to do those things, to melt towards the ground in your chest and center of forehead, to elongate through the spine, right? To really find your natural space, and then to be able to fill that space with the deep breaths that you're taking, right? You really, truly are tapping into your vital force, your vital energy, right? In yoga, we call it prana. That's how I learned it. I teach a prana flow. You know, in Eastern medicines, it's referred to as chi or ki. Prana, chi, ki are the same essence. They are your essence, our essence. All right. Out of child's pose, you rise. And let's come onto our seat again comfortably. Now, here, go ahead and bring your left leg to the bottom, right? It's going to be the bottom of the stack. And your right leg is going to come into the top of the stack. And you may feel a little wonky in your bottom side. So we're going to You know, use our hands to help us shift, right? If you need to lift a foot, it's okay. You can move around to find the place where you can lay down your base again very steadily, as evenly as possible. And then to be able to allow your hips and feet to relax. I think that some of us might be feeling a lot of tension in this pose. So again, honor your body. If it's not feeling awesome, you don't have to do it. Or just come back to a place, right? Come back to a place, move around where it felt good for you. And just breathe, because that's the most important part. Tapping into your essence. And we'll just change sides, no fancy, right? Unstack and restack. And then we shift again into our balancing points on our bottom and our feet through our spine, evenness. And you don't have to hold or hug your leg. You could leave your hands on the floor again, support. What do you need? All right, let's uncross legs and just stretch them out again. Extend and take a tall seat, and you're creating a 90-degree angle at your hips, really. Shifting around through your pelvis to find comfort in your base. And then adding your degree of comfortable forward flexion, and it doesn't have to be massive. And forward bend here, Paschimottanasana. We're probably feeling a lot of stretch through our hamstrings, through our gluteals, through our low back, through any part of the back, right? Shoulders. Make sure the shoulders aren't climbing off of you. Make sure to secure them back onto you. And slowly we rise out of that flexion. We rise and we will come back to go fishing again, right? Fish pose, Matsyasana. Really think about balancing your head at the top of your shoulders, at the top of the neck space. And we sit up again into cross legs. Taking a twist, let's go together to the right. And twist to the left. We face forward. Let's take another swirl around the spine, right? Trunk circle. Maybe we feel a little taller as we take this round. And smoothly changing your circle's direction. Noticing how your body and your breath are beginning to harmonize for our practice. And back to center. Let's reach our arms up and take a little bow forward. Sitting in our forward bend, crossed-legged. In this moment, my friends, consider your spine like a chain, or even better said, a string of pearls. And may there be some space between each of those precious pearls. And if your string of pearls feels a little tangled up, let's take a few breaths to untangle. And now we slowly encourage ourselves back up into our best posture, sitting up nice and tall. Legs forward, I talked about twist. Both legs forward, sitting tall. We're going to use that staff pose, right? That foundation that we laid down together. Your left leg is going to bend. And then rotation, leg grasp, coming into twist. And now we slowly unwind and change sides. Nice and tall as we hug in our other leg and we twist towards, right? We rotate towards our bent leg, remaining tall in our twist. All right, we unwind that twist. Let's go for another round, okay? Change sides. Notice if we got a little, perhaps, frumpy in the frame. Let's reframe our body, right? Reframe the structure to take the rotation from tall and really tune into how deeply we can breathe when the body's aligned well. All right, let's change sides. Nice deep breath, reframe your base, reframe your structure. Let's untwist, right? Facing forward again. Please come back onto hands and knees pose. Let's take a few more rounds of our cats and cows, right? Exhale, draws out the cat curve. And inhale, draws out the cow's curve. Let's take a few more rounds of this together. And as we lengthen and balance here, let's do a little balancing act. So lift your right leg and your left arm and lengthen and level into spinal balance. Notice if the belly space feels a little drippy, zip it up. Again, lengthen, level, balanced. Now let's change sides. So the left leg and right arm are lifting, extending, body leveling. And hands and knees back on the ground. Another entry into our child's pose. Please take 3 more deeply filling breaths in your balasana, the child's pose. All right, that should be the 3rd breath that you're finishing. So I'm gonna change position on my mat, but you can do what you like here, right? Changing position so that when we lie back together, knees are bent, right? Lower leg bones, the shin bones parallel to the sky. Arms spread across the ground. We're gonna start to twist actively, side to side, right? Our legs don't really touch the ground, not yet. We're controlling the action of rotation. Keeping shoulders anchored back into the ground as we create this rotational action. Now one more time, and then we'll lower our legs to the left, surrendering into the twist. Melting, right? With our exhale, melting, allowing our tension to just dissipate, so to speak. Now please lift your legs and roll them to the other side and surrender your legs to the ground heavy. Breathing deeply, expanding across chest and shoulders, right? Shoulders anchored. And inhale, lift your legs up and shift them to the other side. We're going for another round of this deep, delicious twist. And once you've settled your body into that twisted position again, breathe. May you breathe deeply. Breath that fills up 360 degrees of your belly, ribs, and chest, right? Volumes. And we're going to shift our twist just one more time, right? Lift mindfully and lay your legs back down on the other side. Allow your attention and your focus to fall on the deep breaths that you're taking, and to still feel that sense of your spine like a string of pearls, lengthening, untangling. Well done. Now back to center. Give our legs a hug, knees to chest pose. Allow your body to just, again, melt. Tucking in legs, tail towards ground. Shoulders, making sure they're not in the round. And now let's do some legs up, right? Legs up together. And we're gonna start to swirl the legs one direction. And tune into your body. Does it want to do small circles? Does it want to do medium-sized circles? Or does it want to do really big circles? And let's change our circle direction. And back to center. Give your legs a big hug once again, please. Knees to chest. And releasing feet to ground. Stepping your footprints down evenly. And also laying your shoulders back into the ground evenly. Bridge pose. So your middle is rising, your hips, your midsection is lifting. But your shoulders and your arm backs are standing back into the ground firmly. And you're filling, right, your body deeply with your breath, aren't you? I hope so. The breath is the best part of this whole thing. And your breath's a really great indicator of how you're feeling in your practice, right? If it's short and choppy, your movements are most likely going to be the same. Breath and body really do. They have a beautiful relationship, and we should nurture that, nourish it. And now that I'm done storytelling, you can bring your bridge back down to the ground, bottom down. That was a good job. That was many breaths spent in your Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, the bridge pose. Hug your knees to your chest as you lie back on the ground. Maybe you give a little rock or a little roll. Let it feel good. Let any movements that you're making, let them be soothing to the asana or pose that you're practicing. And then let your feet fall to the floor. Butterfly legs as you lie back. So the soles of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, will gently press into one another as your knees fall away from one another towards the ground, evenly and heavily. There's a sense of really using the ground beneath you as a supportive base, and it's also a guide. Your body is lengthening along the ground, right? Unfurling, untangling your string of pearls along the ground, as well as your body is expanding across your ground surface. And within that expansion, your breath can move into greater places, more spaces. In this moment, take the moment to tune in to the very sound of your heart beating. Not only can you hear it, you can feel it. There's this glorious inner motion happening within. And now extend your legs. And we'll hug right knee to chest, right? Just one leg being held. And it's held comfortably, allowing your tail, your pockets to sink towards ground. Now our right leg that we're holding, twist across the body. So bent leg and hips rotate across and your inner right foot rests on the ground. Arms and shoulders expand across your floor. All right, let's ease ourselves back to where we started with hugging our right leg, right knee to chest pose. And then release. And we shall then take our left leg into hug, right? Tucking in leg, hugging leg. And then we draw the leg across our body into our twisting pose, right? Letting the inner foot rest on ground. Anchoring shoulders back as well. And we'll draw our leg back to center, to the knee to chest pose where we began. And if you'd please encourage both legs to come in for a big hug, right? As if I were sending you just all a big hug, a big thank you, because that's how I feel. Thank you for showing up this evening. But we're not done. So after you're done hugging your legs, just relax them back to the ground. Let your feet fall back to the ground. Extend legs along the ground. Extend arms along the ground comfortably, right? Creating, tapping into a sense of equilibrium. May your breaths here in this final relaxation pose, may again, they be deeply filling and actively emptying. Breathing as if delivering oxygen to every cell in your body, right? Bathing your smallest components, promoting health deep within. Now is the time to surround yourself with positive images. Too often, we can submerge ourselves in negatives. Often it happens subliminally. Examine your home, we've got plenty of time, or your workspace. Remove the negative images. Replace them with positives, flowers, photos, music, good scents. Notice the change to your attitude. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. And when you're ready, beginning to create those twinkling movements in your toes and your fingers, through your hips, twinkling through your ribs and shoulders, awakening. And again, thank you so much for coming to Friday night candlelight yoga. Have a great week.